Where's the private chat? Hi, Ruth. Can you hear me? Can you folks hear me? I don't know whether I'm doing this right. I think I have my yay or nay, please. No, that's on. No, that's on. Solo layout. Yep. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I know I'm early. Hi, Desert Nano. Long time no see. I hope you've been well. And it's great to see you. And thank you that you can hear me. I know I'm early. I'm just nervous. So I've invited Carol to join us, and I sent her a link, but I know she's been on this morning, and I know that I think she had a sale this afternoon, so she's been really, really busy. So I have started my theme for some of the for a good part of these Sunday after streams are going to be called unfinished business. I know that sounds very serious, but I know if we're crafters, we all have that unfinished business laying out there that somehow got put aside, forgotten. I know for me, frustration, and just kind of walked away, and then conveniently kind of forgot about it. And I've got quite a few, and I'm sure we also have some of those lying around in the dark corners of our craft rooms or hidden behind somewhere else. I'm well, thank you, and I hope everyone else is well. It's a gorgeous day, joyful of yep, I do too, and it's a little full. Yeah, I was kind of think of what this stuff was, and it's basically unfinished business, and so that and my 2022 one word for the year is hope. And I came up with the word hope before I knew I would be streaming, but it kind of works, right? Because I hope that I can finish some of my unfinished business. So it ended up kind of working well together. And if you saw the announcement that I had for the stream, I had the smoking caterpillar, which is kind of apropos too for Alice kind of having unfinished business and being confused, as we all are, at least I am. And so all of a sudden, I mean, that really wasn't planned, other than my unfinished task today was to work on an Alice in Wonderland journal that I started quite a while ago. We'll keep you on task. Yes. Get out the whip, Ruth. Someone needs to be the task master. That's for sure. And so in a little bit, I pulled that out and started looking at it and became pretty intimidated once again. It looks like I got pretty far, and it looks like I had a plan, which is always good, right? To have a plan. And so there's going to be a lot of probably fumbling around. and organizing stuff. But the book itself, I copied from a woman by the name of the Bohemian crafter, Ava. And she makes some of the most unbelievable journals that I've ever seen. And they're always pockets. She likes to have lots of pockets. And she's very funny. And she's got a really thick accent. And she's always talking about pockets. And so I kind of modeled my Alice in Wonderland journal after a wedding journal that she had made with lots of pockets in places for wedding pictures. So that was kind of my where I was going with this. Hi, Kathy D. How are you? Yes, I know. And it's, just kind of chip away one at a time. I know this one's not going to get done today. But I did finish. Those of you that were with me last week, I did finish the Matchbox uh, unfinished business. So let me show that to you real quick. I did post a picture of it, but that was where I left you. That's where I left off last week. I was working on that Matchbox thing. Then I had started during Mary's the last Friday night live hop. So let me show you how that came out. I guess I better move my camera over. Ta-da! I'm bringing. No, her name is Bohemian Crafter. She goes by Bohemian Crafter, not crafting, crafter. And her first name is Ava. And I was a Patreon of hers, but now I'm just, I just follow her on YouTube. And so she's got quite a lot of free content out there. So here is, wow, I didn't realize my camera was so, whoa. So this is how this turned out. I ended up painting the box. And again, this box was made out of shims that you can buy in a bundle, at Lowe's or Home Depot. And the shims are the things that carpenters use to level windows and doors. When they're putting in a window or a door, they get out the level. And if it's not level, they just start literally hammering these into the wall. And then when they finally get it level, they just hit these with the hammer, snap them off, slap the molding on, and then you're done. Hi, Nashua. Good afternoon or good evening, depending on, I think you're probably good evening, if I'm not mistaken. But thanks for coming. It's great to see you. Awesome. And so this is my little matchbox filled with little bits and pieces of stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with how it turned. I am I shouldn't say kind of happy. I'm very happy with how it turned out. So that's the Matchbox project that's now goes from the unfinished pile to the finished pile. Because, the other problem, when you start finishing this stuff, okay, Bohemian Crafting. I'll check it out, okay? Let's see. All right, Carol said she'd be here in a bit. I wonder what a bit is. Do you remember, Carla? Cage fish? Fish bits. And hi, Chris. Nice to see you from the UK, the United Kingdom. Yes. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. And Carol's coming on her way. So the other thing, I was in Rosemary's room the other night, and she's working on putting together. It is really an incredible. She's making these really kind of long things. It's kind of like a flashcard, but a little bit bigger and longer. And what she's done is she's gone back and she's gathered bits and pieces of all of her previous caboodle kits. Uh, and she's now collaging pieces of art and things that came from each caboodle kit. And it's really turning out well. And we figured, I think they came up with, they think she has 24 caboodle kits. Like she's been at it for, I think, 2 years. And so she's putting together like a record of all of them, just with like a little abbreviated, piece of art that has a lot of the pieces. So that brought us to her funky fish caboodle kit. And that was one of the ones that I had bought. I have bought, let's see, three, only completed one, which is the funky fish. I'm now working on the Oaxaca, the Mexican one, Oaxaca. And again, hit a stumbling block, put it aside, but that'll probably come out and be an unfinished business project here. And I'm sorry, Arlene, you're still very tired. I hope you're feeling better soon. Just rest, I guess. You can take 2 aspirin and call me in the morning if that'll do any good. Ha ha ha. Just kidding. All right, I was going to show, anyway, during Rosemary's stream the other night, we were talking about the funky fish, and I promised those people that I would do a flip through of the funky fish. And this maybe will be new to you. I don't think any of you were there the other night. But anyway, I enjoyed doing it. And again, it's one of those things that I finished. And so I'll get that out. And then we'll start on Alice. When she's 3 feet tall, go ask Alice. Jefferson Airplane, right? Go ask Alice. That was a great album. Ooh, stepped on me. So this was the caboodle kit. And when you get a kit from Rosemary, it is chock full. There is tons of stuff that you can use or not use. And she usually spends at least a couple of live streams putting together the caboodle kit and giving you all sorts of options and suggestions and things to try. And so this is again, it's funky fish, so it's funky fish. This book here was a golf book that I got at the dollar store, and I converted it into this, and I painted it black. And since it was funky fish, I thought I would use, like, the cleats that you have on a boat when you tie up a boat. So I made some cleats like you were tying up a boat to close it. And again, everything in here pretty much came in the kit. And even these little seashells came in the kit. I like the sound of that. All right, let's see. So, and again, all of this pieces were here. Be a mermaid and make waves. This is, I added that, but these little pieces all came out of the kit. This lamp thing came out of a magazine. Let's see. And then, you have to have a little yellow submarine. And I have little people in here. Let's see. And then this, again, came out of a high fructose magazine that's got some really wacky stuff. Don't you love this sound? Oh, I love it. And here's some netting. This is some cheesecloth. And I don't know what belongs here, but whatever it is, it escaped. This is kind of a steampunky conveyance. And just some collage and fishtail, and this woman seems scared of the sea turtle. And then I got a big whale, and I have chopsticks, and this is a little origami boat that opens up. Let's see. And this is a menu from a fish restaurant. Hi, Trish. Thank you for being here. Hope you're having a good day. This is a catfish. And then the tail. This came in the kit. This thing came in the kit. And so did this plastic seaweed come in the kit. And let's see. I've got some. Can you imagine wearing those bathing suits back in the day? And these little cards came from Graphic Fairies. They have a mermaid bundle. So I got those out of there and made some cards to stick in here. Okay. And this is, the stuff that you wrap oranges in. And this is my interactive one. And she showed us how to do this. Okay, let me just see if I can't get him to work. So see, he's down here. And he sees this beautiful woman, and he's going to go up there and he's going to kiss her. Wow! He's kissing her. So that's my little interactive thing. And he's about ready to bite him. But all of these fish, these cutouts came, and I think this came from a calendar so that's my little interactive feature. Actually, I have a couple of more. And here's a whale being, in a net. And here's a little pirate. And this little pirate is me. Hi, Carol. Oh, there you are. I will let you in. Carol's here. Yay.
Hello. I had to take the dogs out in between everything else.
I'm sure. Yep. They haven't had your 100% attention to it.
No, they haven't.
They'll get over it. Well, maybe. I was just doing a quick flip through of Funky Fish because I had said something in Rosemary's stream the other night that I would do this. And this little pirate is made.
Make yourself big then. Hi, Trish.
When I was Halloween costume, I was a pirate. Oh, I can make myself big, can I? So
yeah, you can do the big one with the little one on the side.
How's that?
Either one is fine.
And then I'll come back. Okay, I'm almost done. But this is the Funky Fish caboodle. And then I made this scary thing, and this all opens up, and it's got this jaw and this things, I was into articulation, I think. And here's a mermaid, and here's a little scuba diver. And then here's my mermaid that you can open up and such. So she's kind of like a mermaid paper dollish thing, and she goes in here. And I found this neat quote. She is a mermaid, but approach her with caution. Her mind swims at the depth most would drown in, which I thought was really cool. And then I've got my steampunky pirate. I love her. And I gave her googly eyes. She's a steampunky lady that's in one of my steampunk books. She's got them. And then I have the definition of FUCK. So, and it says FUCK, everything or everyone become a pirate. And the FUCK was a thing that those were initials that they wrote next to a sailor who was found unlawful carnal knowledge, and they would put the initials FUCK next to his name. And then, or the other history of the word is fornication under consent of the king. So the king had to sign off on the wedding night, so to speak. So those are some of the histories of that word that we saw. I'm sure none of you ever use that word, but I do occasionally. Aw, thank you, Barbara. I hope you're not disappointed. And then again, here's another page with the funky fish, another little jingle jangle thing with the cat and some cards and another scuba diver guy. This guy opens and such. He's holding a head, and why wouldn't you? And then this is my pop cans. And oh, this is my little, should be a pop-up, like a pop-up. Let's see, does it work? Oh, it still works. Look at that. It's a fly fishing. It's out of this guy that makes pop-up birthday cards. Duncan is his name. And so this has been closed up for quite a while, but it still works. And this is an ad that appears still. I just came across it the other day in one of the magazines. This woman here, I love her, on the hook. And I made this little TV here, and some mermaids. And I think, and this is fish head. And then I said, this fun-filled, freaky, frivolous, fluky, funky fish folio is fini. So that was my funky fish journal from Rosemary's Caboodle Kit. So I still love it. All right, let me put Carol. There you are. You've been very busy today, Carol. Oops, did I mute you? Are you muted?
I'm muted.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a busy day. And
So
no
how'd it
sleep.
go? Did you have a sale this afternoon?
Yeah, I did.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there. My son was, I was involved with both sons in a good way.
Oh, that's all right. It was okay. It wasn't, it was the first time being there, so people weren't expecting probably pictures. They were probably more expecting crafty stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is this something that Kathy does? This was Aaron, right?
It was on errands, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it was a different crowd of people, which was great. It's different people.
Oh, yeah. A different audience. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. And there's Barb and others, and saying hi to everybody. She uses that. That's one of the footnote abbreviations that we learn when we're writing research papers. And others. And Helen, I didn't say hi to you, Helen. So hi, very.
Hi, Arlene.
Yep.
Arlene's going.
Yep. Oh, I'm so glad you popped in, Arlene. I so appreciate seeing you, even if it was just for a bit. But thank you for being here. You take care of yourself, please. Hi, Riri. Good to see you also. This is awesome. So what are you going to be working on, Carol?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I have a bit of a plan. Again, my theme, unfinished business. So I blew the dust off my Alice in Wonderland journal that I started quite a while ago. I'm going to put Funky Fish back in its place of honor.
I don't know. Put something on here so there's some color, huh?
Okay. And I was telling everybody.
Working on my little journal, I guess.
Okay. All righty. This obviously the cover's not here. And I bought material. to put on this as a cover, but I don't like it. And hi, Violet. So wonderful to see you. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. And so I'm not happy with the material. So this is, you know, a blank for now. Something obviously will be there. And this was made out of cardboard. And I'm following, again, the Bohemian Crafters. Uh, this is like a template from her. It's a wedding album, even though I'm just kind of using that style to make this journal because she likes a lot of pockets. And so these are some of the pages that I already have done. And now I bought one digi kit um, with the downloads and everything. And there's tons. Hi, Laura. Yay. So good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Awesome. 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 I'm working on unfinished business, the not Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland journal that I started a while ago, and these are folders, and I've been rimmed them in gold paint, and I did some stitching with my sewing machine. So I did buy one digi kit, and then Becky gave me a wobble thing for Alice going down the hole. Woo! So I edited that. And I'm, whoops. And it's kind of an interesting, I get and again, there's lots of moving pieces and pockets and things like that. And I can play with that forever. Anyway, whoops. Now, and I'm trying to follow the book and in the order of the story. And so I've got some things that I'm going to be gluing in, and there's some pages that I've gotten done. And eventually, I think I'm going to use like a big rubber band and do it like a flow journal, so the pages will come in and out, or I might end up stitching them. I'm not sure, but Alice it's a warm spring afternoon, and she's out in the woods, and her sister's reading a book. And she falls asleep. And so I have some illustrations from other books. I do too. The Quaking Alice, yes. And I know most of you know the story. So I'm gonna just do some things I've already laid out that I'm gonna glue. And I can glue in chat. That's a nice thing about gluing. It's not too, and these things came from the digi download. There's a lot of things like this for. So as she's going down the rabbit hole, she passes, books go flying by, and various other things. I've got some other illustrations that are not from the original. Like here's an illustration where she's going down the rabbit hole. I haven't found a place to use it yet, but there's books, and in some of them, there's orange marmalade. So I guess she comes across some orange marmalade as she's going down the rabbit hole. And we talk about the rabbit hole a lot in crafting because a lot of times we end up going down that rabbit hole, and we go on all those little side journeys. And they're fun. I mean, sometimes they're amazingly off. They're just out there, right? We just take another journey and travel somewhere else, and then we wake up like Alice wakes up from her dream. I guess I don't know, but I guess Alice was a neighbor. And the guy that wrote the book, I'm embarrassed, let's see. His name isn't Lewis Carroll. That's not his real name, at least. He was a mathematician. And I think Alice was a neighbor. And some claim that he was pedophile and he was infatuated with her, but there's really no evidence of that, at least none of that I have read about. So here will be a little journaling spot, and I'll trim that real quickly. And then I have, and I'll bring it up in a second, I'll show you what I'm using to kind of keep myself somewhat out of the rabbit hole in terms of following the storyline. I have it's called The Annotated Alice. It's a beautiful book, and it gives you like commentary on the oh, you did, okay, about the story, and the interpretations of parts of the story. And it's got the original illustrations, and then it has other illustrations. There's an interesting illustration of Alice supposedly going down the rabbit hole, if you can recognize it, by Salvador Dali. So you can imagine that's a little out there, but very interesting. And so I've tried to include some of those. My plan is to include some of those other illustrations too in the journal. And there's going to be a lot of things that repeat too. Because again, I bought one digi kit. There are tons of digi kits around Alice. So that's all right. That's good. Okay. So this opens up, and then true Ava style, we're going to have an envelope here to put. Oops, I can't. Let's see. Envelope to put stuff in, and then pockets, and then other things that you flip open. Curiouser and Curiouser, and these are other little cards and other stuff. So that's kind of how she designs her things. And then here I have one of those film strip. Oh, you did? So Dolly's book. Oh, wow. I haven't, I've only seen that one illustration. I'll have to look for the others. This is a film strip die cut. And so I put Alice in here when Alice gets tall. And I've got some other, this is one of the digi kits. Whoops, that opens up. And another one. And then here's the negative of it here. You can see that or not, the negative of it. And then here's another illustration that's, not from the original. And this is another pocket that's clear. And in Ava's wedding album, she's got, wedding pictures. And this should come out. And these are clear pockets that I made out of. This is actually text from the book. I bought a copy of the book so that I could tear up. Hi, Mary Lou. How are you? I hope things are well in Rhode Island. So nice to see you here. All right. And then she goes down the rabbit hole, and then she cries, and she almost in the water fills up, and all these people are, all the animals are swimming, and she's swimming. And then she ends up having this race with this bird. And they invite her to a race, and they say we're going to have a race, and becomes very confused because there's really no beginning or no end to the race. They just keep on running around, and she doesn't understand, and like, where's the prize? And she's very confused. So it's called the Caucasus Race. And then I found the transit map for Alice in Wonderland that's kind of fashioned after the London Tube map. And then, of course, she eats, tells her to eat me. And so there's the cake. And then there's a whole bunch. And then drink me, eat me. And then that's when she starts to change. So I have a couple of more little things to glue on this So I'll glue that down. So there's a lot of, whoops, of course, it's going to run out. There's a lot of bits and pieces. And Beth Schuler mailed me a whole bunch of bits and pieces of Alice in Wonderland stuff that she had, little stuff that she had. And so that's kind of incorporated in here too. It will be incorporated in here also. Let's see.
That's a really nice book.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, I had high hopes for it. And after getting it out now, I'm feeling that it could, it's going to be okay.
I haven't done collage in forever.
Oh, let me show you. This is another one of Ava's little things. She likes doing these little things. So this actually sits in here. And of course, we have a pocket here. That goes in here. And you pull this, right? And it opens up like so and like so. Right?
Oh, a flip tag. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Ava loves, she's got tons of things like that. Well, Laura, I am almost done with the Amazon glue sticks. I got everyone to buy Amazon glue sticks, and now I'm almost finished with them. Well, I'm going to try, is it Scott? Another brand of glue sticks. I've already bought them, but I haven't used them yet. And if I had the guts and I didn't mind getting sticky, I would really use Yes Paste, but Mary uses Yes Paste like there's nothing to it. She just slaps that stuff on and it's good stuff, especially for big pictures of magazines, So I will leave this here because that can come out. And I think I colored her hair with ink tints. All right, what do we got on the other side? Okay. And this is another page that's, oops, there you go, an Ava page. She likes to, tie things together and have envelopes, which is really a lot of fun. And you have interesting tuck spots. So this is a little card here. And then here is another envelope where you can pull out some more ephemera. I guess that's ephemera. And I did a lot of stitching. And this opens up. And he's saying, I'm late. His famous lines, I'm late. And then this ties together to keep it flat. So I'm going to do something like that over on this page, because the next thing in the story kind of is her conversation with the smoking caterpillar and the hookah. And so, again, the Digi download kit had these little journal spots. So I think I'm going to stick him under here. And again, you'll see where this is going to become repetitive. But hey, it's okay. This is the original. This is the original illustration. I think his name is Tennell, Tennel, I think. Was the guy that originally illustrated the original Alice. And I can't remember now when the original Alice was published. I can look it up, but I don't remember now offhand. So that'll go there. I can't explain myself. I'm afraid, sir, said Alice, because I'm not myself, you see. Well, how many of us are not ourselves? a lot. So this, my plan is for this to go here. Oh, I shouldn't have glued that there. Oh well, that'll go there, and that'll go there, and then this will go here. This opens up again, and one is as the song says, one pill make you larger, one pill will make you smaller. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. White Knight. I'd love to be playing that now. Wouldn't that be fun just to have that blaring?
Mm.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, I guess you can't do that in StreamYard either. The only place you can do that would be in the chat room, because that's kind of
Yeah, copyright issue thingy.
right. No, yeah, huge. All
Hey.
right.
Me too, Becky. Me too.
Okay. Well, was it today you had all those dinners to go to, or you went to your sister's and Scott's mom's, and I think you were traveling. It was like, going to the relatives for Thanksgiving dinner.
And made a blueberry pie that we didn't get any of.
Oh, I know. Wasn't that gorgeous looking?
I know.
That was right out of Good Housekeeping, Bon Appetit.
Yeah, she made me hungry.
I know. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I had a blueberry pie. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to get this.
And you could put yourself bigger. They have a picture there where there's one small one on the side and one bigger, so they can see your book as you're doing it, because I'm not doing anything exciting.
Well, I think what you're doing is awesome. This was not a good choice, but I can change that. But that's going to hold that down, as you can see. And that'll go around here. I'll have to do something a little bit different. Oh, okay. And then you would open that. And then in here I have, this would be glued down, but this is another illustration of the Alice and the Smoking Caterpillar. And yeah, I don't like that one that much. It doesn't appeal to me. I like the original dude. But see, that would be, what did I say? I will go on. That's what I'm supposed to, and this is what you're supposed to be doing. Oh, I'm all right, right? I'm trying to be organized, huh? Oh, you'll be at dinner at 7. Okay. We got to pull together. Oh. That's right. You went there for lunch. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Poor lady. I mean, having you guys over for lunch. I mean, I don't know if everybody knows, but Scott's mom is 94, and she's having company for lunch. Is pretty remarkable. Okay. There. That's what I was supposed to do. And then when you open this, then you pull this down and go, oh, wow, look at that. Or not. And I should really have this. I should have had this in the front so you could compare the two. That's okay. I'll figure that out. And then there'll be some sort of thing to tie all this together, like everything over there is tying over there together. All right. Moving right along. How are we doing here? Okay. Jeez. That's right. Yeah. Yes. And then we'll turn this. And now we're at a new page.
Helen.
Oh, I can glue that there. Well, that's what I'll do. There's a company, and it's called Vectoria, Vectoria, instead of Victoria. It's Vectoria Creations. I don't know if anybody you're familiar with them, but they sell digi-kits of all sorts of different things. And then they have crafters who come on and make something with those kits. Oh my gosh, you should see that stuff. That is just mind-blowing. And
Oh, wow. Make me hungry, Becky. Holy crap. Mom sure cooked up a meal and a half.
oh my gosh, roasted chicken, potato salad, English. What? Jeez.
No.
Holy mackerel. How could, what? Poor Rhonda. Poor Rhonda has to follow that. Yes, that's it, Riri. Victoria Designs. They have tons of YouTube videos. But what I do is I don't buy those kits, but I follow the how to put the journals together. I'm actually using one of those styles that to do the scavenger hunt, and that one has a whole bunch of magnets and everything, and just so everything is stuck together with magnets. So this will get tied in like so, and then you can open this and go, oh, there's the caterpillar, and then you can go like so, and then like so, and then like so. All righty, that's pretty good. Okay, now I can move on to the next page. And again, these are folders, manila folders that I've painted with. And actually, this is watercolor, metallic watercolor. I've used all it up. There's none left. All right. So this is the book that I have been using. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Scott, behave, will you? Oh, gosh, I really enjoyed hanging out and talking to you and Scott last night. That was just a lot of fun.
I saw you guys were on. I was awake.
We just
I
chatted.
I was in bed.
Yeah, yeah. We were just very low key. So this is the book. The book. It's beautifully done, as you can see. So this is the book that I've been using. And what I did, apparently I didn't realize I was this organized. I actually have gone through the book, and with paper clips, I have kind of put the story together with the illustrations and pictures. So when I glue it into the journal, it'll make sense. And I have this dog, and I have the dog on this page here already. I've got the dog right there. Wait a minute. My work area is not big enough. Has anybody ever heard that complaint before from anybody who crafts? That's the nice thing about stitching, though. You have that, you can put it in your lap, and it just works out so well. So, and I don't have the best camera. That's on my list.
My
buy a camera, a webcam.
Oh, yeah, they're nice.
Well, the one I have now, it's great because it's a plug and play. There's no software at all with it, none. You literally just plug it into your computer and there it is.
If you put OBS on it, though, and you run it through OBS, OBS gives you the options in the program itself to zoom or pan or tilt.
Oh, that's, I've heard of OBS. OBI or OBS?
OBS,
Open software.
open broadcasting software.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. All right. So onward and upward. Let's see. So we have the dog. And I have this illustration in here. So that really should not be, but that's why the pages aren't, set down permanently. So I can still move these folios around. All right. So this has got something to do. Maybe that could go in, maybe this should be a pocket. I'm just laying stuff out right now. And there's the dog. And goes before the dog. And then Alice, advice from the caterpillar, which we just did. Okay, we just did the advice from the caterpillar. All right. I don't know whether I'm going to use that or not. And then she runs into these guys. Oh, there's a neat illustration. Later. And they have this fight, and one guy is upside down. But now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, why do I do it again and again? I guess he doesn't understand why he keeps on hitting himself. So what I did was I took a picture of this with my camera and then sent it to my Google Drawing. And then once it was in Google Drawing, I could size it and change how it looked. And then I mounted it on cards. So I'm just going to glue these down like so. And then I have this little, what happens here. You are old, said the youth, and your jaws are too weak. You are old, Father William, the young man said, and yet you incessantly stand on your head. You are old, said the youth, and have grown uncommonly fat, yet you turned a back somersault in at the door. Pray, what is the reason for that? You are old, said the youth, yet your balance, NL, on the end of your nose, what make you so awfully clever? So that's you balance a goose on the end of your nose. So I'm going to glue those down and we'll take it from there. The Hungry Caterpillar. Oh, that's a children's book, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I remember reading that to my kids.
Me too.
I remember the illustrations. I can almost remember the illustrations. They were very vibrant. And wasn't there the big colorful, wasn't the caterpillar
on
on the
flower
front
or a mushroom or something?
No.
Sitting there.
I just remember, I thought it was, well, maybe, no, I thought it was a kind of
Hungry caterpillar on a leaf. I can't remember.
Yeah, and it was on a limb or a leaf, and it was. I grew up with Dr. Seuss. I can remember my mom
had those. I gave them all away. Now I wish I didn't.
Yeah, I got rid of mine too. Well, I left them when I got divorced. I left them in the trunk. of the attic of the house that we were living in, and I have no idea what my ex did with them. Because he doesn't throw away books, so he probably still has them.
Now they're worth probably a good fortune.
Oh yeah, but now since they're banning poor Theodore. He was a political cartoonist before he started writing children's books. I have a whole book on Dr. Seuss. It's called Dr. Seuss Goes to War. Yeah,
Hi, Brenda.
it's all of his political cartoons. Hi, Lisa. Good afternoon. So nice to see you. I don't know what order this. I guess it doesn't matter. Your old Father William. I guess it starts with your old Father William, and your hair has become very white. I must have took some literary licenses here.
I remember all those books, and because I used to go and volunteer at the school with my kids and the book sales, and
Yeah.
I think we had the whole book sale at our house. My daughter still loves her books.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my kids, because I read to them all the time, obviously, as I'm sure all of us did. And my oldest son would just never go to sleep because we just finally said to him, "You don't have to go to bed. You just have to go to your room. You just need a break." So at 8 o'clock at night, we just said good night, and many a night we would find him on the floor and literally fast asleep, lying on a pile of books he had taken out of his little bookcase, and we'd pick him up and put him in bed. Yeah. He's the one that I'm playing with. I'm playing World of Warcraft with. We had all sorts of problems with our computers. My computer completely froze, and then we didn't get to play much. And then we finally got things going. And then my younger son video called from Utah, so Dave and I had to say goodbye. Anyway, it was one of those. It was great spending time with them, though. That's for sure. All right. So that's okay. There you go. So this is very helpful. So on to the next part of the story.
Hi, Janet.
Hi, Janet. Good afternoon. I hope you're well. How is weather out in Long Island? I remember that because I used to work in Babylon. For the Bank of Babylon, affectionately known as Bob. That was a horrible job. And that was the best job I could get. Cold and windy today. The absolute best
here
job I could get. And I had to pay an employment agency that found me this horrible job as a bank teller. You want to be depressed, handle other people's money all day. Jeez. Very depressing. And it was a small local bank, and I think I've talked to Janet about it. It was probably obviously it was assimilated by a larger bank but there were 5 branches to the Bank of Babylon. Okay, processing loans. All righty. I was a teller, and this will date me. Calculators had not been invented yet. It's hard to believe, right?
You had to make your own change.
Yes. And we actually, every day we would get up, we had a pile of scratch paper and a pencil. And that's when we did all the figuring on paper. And there was one adding machine in the entire bank. And that was for adding interest to savings accounts. And it was this big clunker thing, And yeah, no calculators had not been invented yet.
It was funny when I was working at McDonald's. I was manager at a McDonald's when I was in the States. And
Uh-huh.
when the computers went down, how many kids could not make change?
I know. Isn't that sad? I know what you mean, though. You're right. They don't even know how to count. I mean, they don't even know how to, figure out how to count with the change. It came to 598. Well, 99. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's your change. They can't do that. Yeah. Well, the other one is funny. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure you've all seen it, is when they give an old phone to a bunch of teenagers and they don't know how it works. They have no idea how it works. It takes them a long time to figure out that you dial. There's something to do with the numbers. You move those dials around, but they couldn't figure out how to lift up the receiver. And someone figured out about, lift up the receiver and see what happens, because they didn't call it a receiver because they didn't know that's what it was called. It was,
Hmm.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. Shouldn't be too critical of them. Why would they know what that is? Given having never grown up with it. So I can remember when we lived on the farm outside of Gettysburg, we were on a party line. And that was an interesting experience. And then we were talking about this the other day, with long distance. And, my dad would never call, there's only certain hours that we could call because we
Oh,
wanted to,
yeah.
didn't want to
Yeah.
pay the full rates. And where my ex-in-laws lived, they lived right on the border. Even though they physically were 4 miles away, they were right on the border. So if you called them, even though they were 4 miles away, it was considered long distance. So she made a whole bunch of these in her thingy to put pictures in. Did I sew that? It looks like, wow. Huh. I don't know whether I sewed it without a needle and just got the holes because there's no thread. I was I was sewing earlier today. Oh, this poor little sewing machine that I bought. I give it such a beating. It's the poor thing. It's just, and I jam it, and it keeps on working. I bought a newer. Hi, Brenda. I don't think I said hi to you. Oh, oh no. I bet you are mortified. Oh, how embarrassing. She's on a party line and she's talking to her friend about how she has a crush on the neighbor boy, and he picked up the phone and
Oh,
it was
wow.
yeah. Oh, God. And how old were you? Like a teenager?
That's cute.
I'm sure, yeah, she was mortified. Oh, poor thing. Things when you're like a teenager, everything is so amplified. The littlest thing is, a tragedy. I remember when my kids were like in seventh and eighth grade, they would be dating, they would be going together, but they would never really see one another, and they would never really go on a date. Um, they would see one another in school, but they never went out. But they were a couple, and that maybe lasted 2 or 3 days, you know, and then it was on to somebody else. Very,
Hmm.
very, very dramatic. my ex-sister-in-law was a principal, and she referred to seventh graders as the boys smelled and the girls wore too much makeup,
Hmm.
talking about junior high. I think I need something here to break all of this. This is a Timmy paper. Might as well throw some Timmy in here, right? Why not? Did you see Timmy was doing? He was showing off the latest, greatest big shot. But it's not the big shot. It's called something else. It's a big black monster
No,
die cutter,
I haven't.
motorized.
I don't usually watch him because I can't afford his stuff.
Well, I can't. Well, that I can't afford either. But it was interesting. It was the tail end of it. Actually, I was just at the very end of it, so I rewound it just to see some more. I didn't. I don't even know what that thing goes for. I'm sure it was a very pricey piece of equipment. And it's funny. He was saying that he. I'm trying to think who made this, because he has the Vagabond, which I think is his, which is Ranger. So I don't know what company made the thing that he was. And they asked him. Apparently, they asked him several times whether he'd be interested in taking this basically for a test run,
Hmm.
and he said, "No, no, thanks. I'm not interested. I'm very happy with the machine I have. Nope, not interested." And finally, I guess he finally agreed to use it, and he was pleasantly surprised. And most of the comments that I read were saying that people that especially with people with arthritis in their hands, the whole physicality of using the big shot and the cranking and all
Yeah,
of that is difficult. So something like this would be a lot
that's why
easier.
I got rid of my cuddle bug.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It was too hard to hold and crank at the same time
Oh, wow.
and
I
try and get things fitting through.
Yeah. Now, is a cuddle bug like a manual cricket?
No, the cuddle bug was is like a big shot, but small.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. Because I've heard that name, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what piece of equipment that was. Yeah, I have a big shot, and then I bought the little. It's a little sidekick. It's about yay big, and you can put dies through it that are maybe 2.5 inches, and
Hmm.
it's got like a little suction cup, so you put it on your surface, and then there's a little lever, so it'll suck. It'll have it'll stay still on a surface, and but that's even hard to crank. I get so frustrated when I think of the things that I used to do and the things that I can't do. I get very, very frustrated. Well, sewing, does that bother your hands after a while?
No, because I'm not pulling that hard.
Okay.
It's when you have to hold something really really tight.
Yeah.
I don't I don't hold my needle real tight.
Well, I have these needles that came with that embroidery kit, and I think they're embroidery needles. And I think they're designed really to be used on a more like a almost like a needle point and open weave, because the tips of the needles are not that sharp, and I
Oh,
have.
so they're yes, they're more of a cross stitch.
Yes, and they're really hard to push through the material that I'm doing my calendar
Oh,
scroll
yeah,
on,
you have
and
to have a point,
yeah, and that I mean, even though they have the big eye, which is great for threading,
but it's
and
more for yarn
yeah, yeah,
or yeah,
for
something.
floss, yep, and that really hurts my hand. I was having a heck of a time, and So then I got the great idea. I said, well, it's why can't I sharpen it? So well, I went online, of course, and how to sharpen sewing needles, and you can on sandpaper. I had an emery board, and I was trying to sharpen it, and it didn't work. It
I
didn't.
think it would be too rough.
Yeah, no, it just made it worse. So I gave up, and then I went into my sewing kit, and I just took out like a regular sewing needle. The only problem with that is it has the tiny eye. But using that needle cheater thing to get the thread through, I was able to, thread it. But with only 2 strands of floss, no more than 2 strands of floss. But what a difference. That needle went through the material like butter.
Mm.
So so your next sale is going to be next month. Is that the plan?
Yeah, I'm going to try and have one a month.
Okay. All right. And you said you got everything packaged up?
Yes, everything's packaged. I just have to. Oh, shut up. Figure shipping.
He's good. Thanks, Janet, for the reminder. And the other reminder, if you haven't subscribed to Carol or my channel, I would love that. I'm at 491. So to get to 500 would be a milestone for me. I know Carol's way over that, but that would be great if you could, thumbs up, obviously, and if you haven't subscribed, that would be awesome too. But thanks for the reminder, Janet. I really appreciate that. I guess Mary's coming on at. Did she come on at 6? Someone knows, right? I think the unwritten agreement was that we would get off. Well, I didn't. Look, here's another whole envelope of stuff from Beth. I hope this hasn't been too boring. I got some stuff done, and again, this book helps. And then I want to make some more of those, those envelopes and foldy things. And I've got a lot of other stuff to put in. So I'll probably continue to work on this next week also.
Thank
Because
you,
we have to
Janet.
get to the Cheshire cats, right? And Tweedledee and Tweedledum and all of those good folks. So we are looking forward to that. Oh, this is perfect. We're all mad here. Oh, yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're all mad here. Get to the tea party. There's a lot of good stuff to get to. Huh.
Helen,
Well,
I have Magical Touch Studio. Janet put it in just up above.
okay. Let's see. Huh. Well, thank you, Janet.
I know
Yeah.
I like listening to the stories too. I don't have exciting stories.
I like stories too. I've got a few. I've been around long enough to have a few in my arsenal of stories. Yeah. Yeah. Some of them are a little, off color, but we're all adults here.
Well, this little book, this is a Just Because style book, and this was done from Susan Taylor Brown. She was doing Just Because books, but she takes and just throws everything together. But since I don't have like a whole variety of materials and stuff, what I'm doing is I'm just creating little stitches and cut up things that I slow stitched on. And then I'm putting pieces together to create like Franken, Frankenstein type.
Frankencloth, I guess.
Frankencloth, that's it. I knew I was thinking of something. So I thought, well, I had these slow stitch pieces and I just cut them apart and put them together differently.
I like that.
So it would give a different texture. So that's going to be the cover to my Just Because book.
Okay. Oh, that's lovely.
And then I have plain pieces, and then I had a lot of little pieces left over from the hexagon quilt. So I just took the little scraps that I had and I just did French knots all around the outside of this. I can still add more onto it because the back isn't covered yet. So when I go to do the next piece, like I did this one, I'll put some more stitching on there, but keep in mind of the fold.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I know. I see what you're saying.
I
Yeah.
won't I won't stitch right exactly in the fold,
Mhm.
but I will
Mhm.
go around it. So once I do this piece, I'll take this piece, which is the same size, and
Oh,
then I'll do bits of stitching and stuff on this one. And then I will take and I'll put these two together to create a little signature style.
oh, cool. That's brilliant.
And then what I'll do is once these are little signatures, oh, this one will go bigger and put them in. I'll have a couple of little signatures and put them together. And these pieces will then stick out on the end when you fold it over. And then you get this nice
Oh,
little edgings sticking out of your book. But well, the way she does it is she puts her book together and then stitches it. But
okay.
I'm doing it my way because I have a problem with trying to hold the book and stitching in it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I'm creating my little pages front and back, and then I'll just make it as a little signature and sew it onto my cover.
Okay. All right. You just sew right up, stitch right up the middle.
Yep. So when these are all together and done, I'll just find my middle and
Mm-hmm.
then put it down and then just stitch in that area.
That's so, yeah, I've got all those scraps and I made a tea cozy out of a bunch of scraps and I stuffed, I put like batting in it and it came out pretty good. And I'd never really sewn before. I
Some
like
of
it over on the right on your other thing. That's called seed stitches, right? On the other piece.
this, yes,
Yeah, that.
this is seed stitching.
Yes. Okay. I've seen it in the the books, but I haven't seen it. Okay, that's what I thought. I love it. Yeah, that's great.
And then the other thing I was doing, and I think I don't remember if you were there. Yeah, you were at my last one. I was making transfer on material.
I
So
missed that. What did you use to what was the medium that you used to
just a
transfer?
matte medium.
Okay, just like you would do a matte medium transfer to paper. It works on
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I put my matte medium down.
okay.
What I did was in my encyclopedia, I took, some of the odd little pictures and some of the text. This was archaeology. It went on backwards, but
Yeah,
that's
but that's
you're not
okay.
really going to read it anyways. And don't put the matte medium on the top of the paper. What you want to do is put the matte medium on your material.
Okay.
Take your picture. Oops, I'm whiting out. Take your picture or your text and put it what you want to show face down and
Okay.
then rub it in. Let it sit and dry
That's a
just
key.
like that. And
So you're
then,
not adding more matte medium on top of the picture. You're just putting the
not
matte
yet,
picture.
no.
Okay, gotcha.
So you're just putting the paper down, you're going to rub it in and then let it dry. And then once it's dry, then you go back with your water and you
Hmm.
take off the backing and your picture stays.
Wow.
After it dries again, then I will coat the whole thing with matte medium one more time.
Oh, wow. It's
And
kind of stiff,
it's
right? Gives it.
flexible. I've put this under the sink with soap and water just to make sure everything is going to stay.
Oh, wow.
And it stayed. Everything is fine. I had it under the sink for quite a while. And this one I did different pictures. This reminded me of steampunk.
Yes, and it reminds me of some Timmy paper, and I love that color. Oh, and there's your little lammy.
Yeah. So that one. And then I did a couple that are, I used ink tents on with different
Yeah, and because the
tries.
incense dries when it. I mean, it's permanent when it dries, which is good. Yeah.
Well, it is and it isn't on
Okay.
top of matte medium.
Oh, really? Okay. Alrighty.
If you turn it over on the opposite side, Barbara, you can iron it. Put a pressing cloth over the top.
Okay.
But this one I put the ink tents on top and I didn't like because some of it did come off. So what I did then was I let it sit and dry and then I put another coat of matte medium over the top
Okay.
just to protect it. And again, this went in the water, you know, it's fine.
That's
I did
amazing.
one with just text in pinks.
Oh, I like that.
Can you see this very well?
Yeah, I have of the text. Well, I can see that it is text. I can't read it. You know what I'm saying? But
No, I mean it's because of my lighting is not the
oh,
best.
yeah, yeah, it gets washed out a little bit. It depends on where you are, but for the most part, it's fine.
And then I did an experiment with one, and I put the text on, and I put some pictures on, and then what I did is it would have looked like this, but in reverse. It would have been white and blue.
Oh, okay. Oh,
All
I
right.
see. Okay. All right.
So this material was white and blue.
Okay.
So the experiment I did was I ink tensed the back.
Oh,
So when I ink tensed the back, being that the matte medium was dry on the front, it gave it a muted color. It shows through. It
yeah.
didn't come through, but the pink and the blue showed through.
That's interesting. It didn't really bleed through, but it's
No,
there. You
it's
can see it.
there. But
Yeah.
you see, and it gives the back of the material a look of its own. So it's almost like you have two fronts now. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't have to back this with anything because you already have a back.
That's so interesting. That is wild. I
So
mean, 'cause
that
you
came
really
out pretty
saturate. I
cool.
mean, you have a lot of intense on the back of that. I mean, you really,
Actually, it all I did was wet my brush, put it. I wet the material,
okay.
and then
All
I
right.
put my wet brush into the ink tents and got it pretty full, and then
Mhm.
just let it run all over
Okay.
because it's not going through because it's sealed on this side.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So it's almost like the matte medium on that side is almost acting like, well, it's like a gesso. I wonder what it would be like putting gesso on material.
You can, but gesso's really rough.
Yeah.
I don't. This is kind of smooth, but it's the matte, and I prefer that because if you're stitching and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
really don't. I'm not I have clear gesso. It can be done with clear gesso. It can be done with acrylic paint as
Oh,
well.
yeah, that's
You
true.
can use the white and put it down the same way
Okay.
because it's all a polymer, right?
Right.
The main base is a polymer, so it's all a plasticky look. I
That's,
tried it on that cheesecloth one that I did, but
yeah.
it didn't come out as oops, there just had a craft lunch. It didn't come out as good as I hoped it did. This is the one where let me
Yeah, a
see.
little flashed out. Yeah. That's,
You see the face?
oh, yeah. Oh, Yeah.
No, you can't.
There is a
It's
face.
there. There's a face in there, and I can't get the lighting to work for me.
I can see just the outlines of it. It's almost like a ghost. It's like,
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it looks like. There, you can see them. It's exactly what it looks like, and I put the text around, and
oh, now
then I
I
have
can really see. I can see there's, yeah, it's
the
got a big
face
nose.
is right in here. This was on food grade cheesecloth bag,
Oh,
and my mistake was putting paint and ink tints down first. I should have left it bright underneath.
oh,
Yeah, I know, Brenda. That's what I'm saying. It didn't come out like I was hoping because it just it muted itself with
it's
the extra
washed out.
color.
It's very,
Yeah.
it's washed out.
So,
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see I can see the. Yeah, I see.
and it's that faint here too. It's not very mm, prominent.
That's interesting, though.
So I was, trying with the different fabrics and stuff, which then makes this very waterproof.
Oh, yeah. I like
With
the sound of it when you're touching it. I can hear. Yeah, I can
it's
hear like
almost like it's like a canvas now, like a material canvas.
yeah.
And I did the ink tints on the inside.
Now that's the inside looks much softer than the outside.
It is. There's no. Hey! Anna.
Yeah, it looks a lot softer.
Yeah, because there's no matte medium on this side.
Okay, alrighty.
But I'll tell you what, it sure is a messy process.
Well, when you have water and anything that's wet, it's gonna. You see, my problem with doing those type of transfers, I am so impatient. I never wait long enough, and I know you really can't. You shouldn't put a heat gun to that stuff because that's you have to really let it.
No, because then it only dries the surface.
Oh, that's true too. So you
It
really
makes
have
you get a crusty on it. So I have this. I put this string in my bathroom, and it goes from the cupboard to the shower. And when I go in, and then when I do stuff like this, then I go in there and I hang it all up, and I got
to.
this row of art stuff hanging in the bathroom.
That's what an artist has on their clothesline, right? Instead of pantyhose, you've got art stuff.
I've got art stuff. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that
think
works.
this one is my favorite with the trees out of all of them. I think.
Yeah, it's so cute. And those trees came out of the encyclopedia.
No, this was a tree material.
Oh,
This was a material and it had trees on it.
oh wow! They're like little Christmas trees.
Yeah. And then I took and put pictures and text. It's getting dark in here. That's why I only have the one light in here. There's no ceiling light, and it's
Hmm.
getting
Yeah.
dark.
I only have this one ring light on. I don't have it's. Yeah.
That's why my lighting is getting crappy.
But it's great that you were doing all that experimenting and just seeing how things turned out.
Yeah, it was different. It was a change of pace of stuff.
Yeah.
Now I got all this stuff from the sales stuff all over the place, and now I gotta clean all that up. And
Well, I guess that's the next part is I guess you have to weigh stuff and then figure out and then
yes, yes,
how are you gonna be able to print off your postage or you have
I
to
have to go to the post office. I can guesstimate shipping,
right.
so it'll be an estimate, and then whatever, if it happens, if you happen to have paid too much, then I'll just refund you what the
Sure.
difference is.
Yeah.
But I have a lot, and I ran out of packing tape, so I have to wait
Hmm.
till I get some more packing tape. But I do have quite a bit, and I'm in the process going into the Canada Post site and estimating.
Right. Do you have a scale?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Right. Well,
I
that'll
have
give you a pretty good idea. Um,
Yeah, it does. It pretty much, and if people want tracking, it's almost like double.
yeah.
It's crazy. I
I
looked at it and it's like, no way.
And and it shouldn't cost that much. It's a number. You know what I mean? And it's a program in a computer, and
Yeah,
it's a
and
number.
I look at it this way: the prices of the items that everybody got, it compensates for the little bit of shipping that they're paying.
Yes. Yeah. And people are so afraid of shipping, and
But everybody got good pricing,
oh, they did. They did. Yep.
because if they would have went to Etsy, pictures would have been 30 on up. So
Yep. No, the pricing was very, very reasonable, and yeah, it's hard when you make something and you put all those hours in, and people, this community should be cognizant of the time and effort that goes into,
yes,
those
yes,
pieces.
because they know how much time it takes to Luna.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Um, I did that. I did a journal for Defy, and it was hours and hours. And people, in my craft and chat room, people watch me work on that forever, and then I donated to Defy, and I enjoyed every minute of it. You know what I mean? I loved
Yep.
every minute, and I'm happy that it sold, for a nice, you know, amount of money that could go to Defy. That was heartwarming. I really enjoyed that, and I enjoyed making the journal. And I would do it again. But I mean, if you start figuring out by the hour, I mean, you're probably, but in what you sold your stuff for, and what if you're probably making, if you're lucky, 50 cents an hour. But
Oh, yeah, if that.
it's and that's not counting any material. That's just straight up, your
Plus the
hourly wage.
stitching, yes, some of the stitching, some of those little the squares, the 8-inch squares, some of those took me a couple of days to do.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it. I believe it. And I guess there's really no way of, yeah, I guess that's true with anything like that. I mean, in terms of really getting,
I'm just happy everybody likes them and they got what they got.
yeah,
And,
I'm thrilled
no,
with what I got. It was interesting, it really got everybody all excited is when you did that twofer. Did you notice that?
yeah,
I mean, I was, wow, that really got, well, that might be something to consider.
yeah. I have a bunch of other things that I have here that are gonna go. Um, Stuff that I'm not using anymore and stuff that everybody can use in their journals. Everything, it will be a dollar sale that I have, and there's all kinds of things. Thank you, Janet.
Well, that'd be good.
On my Facebook, I don't have a group, and Janet brought this to my attention. I think I might have said something about in the group, but I don't have a group. I
Hmm.
have my Facebook, and pretty much everybody that comes to our streams is is in groups that I'm in, but I'm going to post my pictures and stuff in a couple of sale albums on my Facebook. So feel free to friend me
Hmm.
on my Facebook because everybody is pretty much there. And if you're not my friend, my Facebook is all art.
Right.
There's only my kids are the only family on my Facebook.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody else is art. Like my whole friend list is all art people,
Yeah.
and there's 400 of them.
Oh, wow. I don't think I am on your. I'll have to friend you.
Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
we're friends. We think we're friends.
okay. I don't know that I've been to your Facebook page. Maybe I
But
have.
that's in my albums. I have everything from the very beginning of when I started doing art sales with my rag dolls in my
Mm-hmm.
woodworking. I did tons of woodworking back then,
Hmm.
and I had crocheting and sewing, and And I have pictures, and I did leather working, hand carved leather and painting.
Oh, wow.
So I have all of that stuff. My son has those tools now.
Uh-huh.
He's picked up all the woodworking and the leather working. I love that material. That's pretty.
Oh, that's, yeah. Well, I just bought a soldering iron. So,
I have one of those.
yeah. And it came with, the tips and some lead and some, was it flux? Is this the,
Yep. Yep. I have all that stuff. I haven't really played a lot with it. And wood burning stuff. I have
yeah,
that.
I have wood burning, and I know that the wood burning tool would do the same thing as the solder thing, but I wanted the tips and it wasn't that expensive. And that was my Amazon delivery that the guy was too lazy to bring it to the porch. I've never
Mm.
had this happen. He literally left the two packages out. I have a mailbox that's literally on the road. It's right at the road. And he left them leaning up against the mailbox. I was, yeah. This is Alice, and this is actually Beth sent me this.
You can make yourself bigger so they can see that. That's
Okay,
beautiful.
let me make myself bigger. Well, I can actually. What did I do before? I did something that made it huge, but I don't know what I did. Then I couldn't see chat. Let me see. And we don't want cinema layout. Picture in a picture.
You're looking
Oh, there it is. There it is.
at the
Okay.
big picture and the little pictures.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's beautiful. Beth sent it to me. And I like it better than the material that I bought. But I've never bought material, and I went into this store and I bought way too much. But this is kind of like it feels like, I guess, polyester. I guess it's got some texture
Or
to it.
or it's a good cotton.
Yeah, it could be cotton. And I mean, I could probably put this on the inside of the book.
Oh yeah, so it doesn't get ruined.
And then I've got some other cloth that I bought that I don't care for that much. I could put that on the outside. I don't care what happens to it. But
Have a good evening, Becky.
yes, Becky, enjoy your next round of dinners. And
Would you mind if I left now?
no, not at all. No, not at all.
I'm really kind of tired
Yeah, you've had a full day.
and only 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
So
well, I hope you sleep better tonight.
I'll fill you in later on what went on.
Okay, understood. Understood.
So everybody take care, and I'm gonna go.
And
And
thank you, Carol, for stopping by.
thank you. Oh,
All right. On that note, the dogs, the dogs.
the dogs.
The
All
dogs.
right, everybody. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you, Ann. Bye.
Yes. Bye bye. My son's hockey team they're called the Oval Dogs, DAWGS dogs. And they're called oval because where they play hockey is the actual oval ice rink where the speed skating events took place during the Winter Olympics when they took place in Salt Lake City. So that's the hockey. That's the ice that these little guys are playing hockey on, which I think is pretty cool. The Oval Dogs. And they won again. So, and it was his birthday. He had a lovely birthday party, and he showed me all the gifts that he got from his friends, and he was very excited when I streamed with him. He's 11 years old. I can't believe he's 11 years old, and he's almost as tall as his father. So it's very interesting. Well, this doesn't go here, but I'm sticking it down anyway. I'm somebody, I just kind of move stuff around, and then I'm just gluing it down. And if I don't like it, well, I can glue over it. Or there's always black gesso. Oh, I love black gesso. The Wonderlust classes, all the classes were up until now have all been just gesso. All about how to use gesso and all the different types of gesso, heavy gesso, clear gesso, black gesso, white gesso, gesso, colored gesso. I mean, you can buy gesso that's colored, but you can add paint and make your gesso any color you want. All right, that's good. Yeah, we got these two guys, and let's stick these guys here, and maybe in here, like so. These guys are called, the chapter is called Pig and Pepper. Okay. So I'll just glue that in. Oh, I'm going to use tape so I can make a flappy, make a thing. Yeah, Janet. Yep. FaceTime. Every Sunday. I mean, every Sunday, pretty much for the last 11 years, my son has FaceTimed me. And it's been wonderful. Ever since they were little, even though they were babies, we would FaceTime. And he's been so good about that. Very rarely does he ever miss a Sunday. So, them being so far away, if I get to physically see them, if I'm lucky, once a year. And of course, with COVID, I haven't seen them in, several years. Well, that's not true. I take that back. They were here for Christmas. I take that back. They were here for Christmas. But I'm flying out in March. And it's my birthday, and I'll get to see them, and we're going to go to hockey tournaments. So I will freeze my you-know-what off. At least watching my son, he films the hockey games. And at least watching them here, I'm watching them in the comfort of my warm home. But are you leaving, Barb? I guess everyone's saying bye. Bye, Barb, dear. Barb, take care. Yes, Barb, take care. Stay warm. Did I make a mistake? I think I'll just leave that like that. And then this can just be a tucky. I mean, just tuck in like so. There you go. How's that? And then let's see what I have other bits and pieces I can put up here. I'll stick that up there. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? I got a lot of stuff. You should see some of the digi kits out there for Alice in Wonderland. Whoa, they are amazing. I almost bought another digi kit today or yesterday because I knew I was doing this, and I talked myself out of it, which is a good thing because I don't really need. And a lot of it's redundant. And I can just, take pictures. And I've got little pieces like this. And this is something like, Beth sent this to me. She was so sweet. These are all the little pieces and little tidbits that she's collected over time. Her little pieces that she's collected. And watching Ava, she cuts these, I have this die set that cut out different shaped, like oval or picture frames. And then you get like the inside of it, which you can use and put another little piece on. And this is like the inside of a tag, thing, the die cut. Oh yeah, absolutely, Trish. It is just a godsend. It absolutely is. I can't imagine. Oh yeah, Beth is a sweetheart. And when she heard that I was doing Alice, she said, "Oh, I've got Alice stuff." And sure enough, it arrived like a thread over here on the boom on the arm where it's a mic stand that I use for my webcam, and it's also a great place to put my floss. I've got all the floss hanging off to the side here when I'm sewing, which is that's a whole new thing for me, the slow stitch thing, and I'm loving it. I really am. Let's see, I did made that out of an envelope, but I don't like that white. I should or maybe I'll put some stamps on that. Oh, actually, I know what I'll do. This is another trick that I learned from Ava, and I've shared this with several of you. What she uses for like a quick, if you want to do like a quick coffee dye type of thing, or you want to take some tape, like Scotch tape, and you want to make it look old, she uses shoe polish. It's wonderful. So let's do this. No, that's a little overkill, but you got to press down. And this shoe polish smells wonderful. Really is very delicious. Okay, Judy. Have a lovely dinner. I made chicken chow mein for dinner last night, and I've got probably 2 more dinners. On wooden blocks, yep. That's the one thing I want to. I think I showed some people that Rosemary did some really neat. She was messing around with transferring images onto aluminum flashing. And I asked her to try it on duct tape, DUCT tape. And I had some Bigelow tea bags, right? And I saved the packaging, and the packaging has foil on the inside, and I opened it up carefully, and then I sanded that foil down just a little bit, wiped it with rubbing alcohol, and then put down it has to be a laser printer print, and put that down, and then you wipe it with acetone, and then you kind of rub it with like a bone folder or whatever, and it transfers that image onto aluminum flashing or the duct tape. She even did it on a piece of wood, and I did it on the inside of a Bigelow tea bag. And this was and it really looks, I think, very vintagey and very cool. I guess you can't see it though with the glare. Oh, that's too bad. But that's the image transferred with acetone. It has to be 100% acetone. And here's the tea bag. And yeah, that's kind of. But it came out really. They came out the best. but you can, she did photographs, I have some photos that I'm going to, there you go. But anyway, that one came out, and these other two, these didn't come out. These are all washed out. These aren't, you can kind of see that girl there, and they didn't come out, but I'm going to keep on. I don't normally save these. I save the tea bags, but not these. So now I have to save those. I've been drinking vanilla chai, so I have a whole stack of tea bags. I know we all love these, and I got a whole stack of those. They were so always fun to work with, and well, listen, ladies, I'm going to say I'm off a little early. But I've got nothing more to do. I really want to do some more planning in terms of. I'm at a point where I don't want to slap stuff down because I want to build some more, some more of these type of, thingies, this kind of stuff, and go back and look at Ava's wedding journal and pick up some more of these little, kind of interactive things to add them. But I'm happy I got a couple of pages done, and I certainly appreciate the company. It's always nice to have someone to talk to, and to have Carol here. That was always awesome. So I want to thank you so much for stopping by. Same time next week, 5 o'clock Sunday. Deb is still away. Well, they're in Mexico. Her daughter and son-in-law have a travel agency, and they take small groups of people on trips, and Deb is gone along. And so she won't be here next week, but I will be here, and I'm hoping that Carol will join me, or if anybody else wants to join me, this is great. I can send that link. That's a nice thing about SteamYard. So see you out on the internet, and if you can't be good, as my mother used to say, be careful. And thank you so much for coming and spending time with me. And if you've subscribed to me for the first time tonight, that's awesome too. All right, take care, folks. See you about. Bye.